Seeking immortality. Immortality has always been a fancy pursuit of the affluent. When people became affluent, they felt they had everything, but still life had not happened to them. So they wanted to hang on. Immortality has always been the quest of miserable people in the world. It is a misunderstanding that people who are joyful, people who live their lives really well, are unwilling to die and they seek immortality. If joy becomes your companion, other things may have no place in your life. If you notice, when you are joyous, you are not greedy anymore. You are very generous. You will give away anything at that moment. It is only when you are miserable you are very greedy. Happy people are loosely attached to life. They are willing to drop off at any time. People always think that miserable people want to die. It is not so. Miserable people cling to life more than anyone else. The more miserable they are, the more they cling to everything around them. Even if they live for 100 years, they will cling a little more and a little more because they have never really lived. All the time, they were so immersed in their own misery that they never had any time to live. A happy person does not cling to anyone. When a person is blissful with their life, they are not bothered whether they are going to be reborn or not. They are not even bothered whether they are going to be alive or dead tomorrow. They are so blissful. When you are really happy, you don't need anyone. You don't need your wife. You don't need your husband. You don't need your God. When you are very happy, all gods are forgotten. God is the creation of miserable people. Because there are lots of miserable people in the world, God has thrived. If the world was full of blissful beings, God would disappear. If all of us are truly happy, God has no business in this world. We can handle ourselves. We need God only because we have created so much of misery within ourselves, and above all, such a fear of suffering. When you become really happy, happy beyond words, when your joyousness transcends all limitations, you are ready to die. You feel, this is it. I am willing to dissolve myself and go now. Joy prepares you for death. A man who is ready to simply die when everything is well is a man who has seen life. Lovers who have tasted the joy of togetherness, even for a short while, are willing to die. Have you not seen this? A miserable man is not ready to die because he has been a miser about living. He never lived, so he thinks that if he gets one more year, he will live better. Most people are like this. In the past, every king, every powerful person on the planet always sought to somehow become immortal. But in reality, if you really want to curse someone, don't wish them death. Wish them an endless life. That would be the worst curse for anyone. If someone lives by sadhana and through sadhana he or she extend their life, then it is different. This is not stretching life forcefully. On the contrary, you are providing life with necessary support to flesh itself out further. In yoga, we have always been saying humans can live up to 160 years, but rarely in recent times have we seen anyone living up to that age. On average, global life expectancy has gone up significantly. This is largely because of the medical care and all the supplements that people routinely take. It is causing other problems, but it is giving an extension of life. Many organs are rejuvenated because of the battery of minerals and nutrients one takes. Now they say if we somehow survive for another 50 years, we can live for 500 years because by then technology would have advanced so much that we can culture a new heart and a new liver and a new kidney in a laboratory and refit ourselves with everything new. Some people were telling me how they are going to live for 400 years. They have made plans. They are making contracts with laboratories, with doctors, as to when they will replace which organ. Whether it is still working or not working, they have already decided this by looking at one's genetic predisposition and other biological markers. They have already decided that at the age of 80, they will replace their heart. At the age of 85, they will replace their kidneys and all the bones and joints and so on. These are the kind of plans they have made to live for 400 years. Such people will suffer immensely for this. Extending the life of body may seem possible, but unless you have sadhana in your life and a certain level of mastery over your system, you will not have a mind if you live that long. You will live like a zombie without the needed sadhana. If you stretch the body, the mind will cop out. You will find many people with still sturdy bodies but their mind gone because they have run out of their prarabdha karma. It is like you have the hardware but you have run out of software required to run it. They are unable to open up the next dimension of memory because they have no sadhana. That just leaves an empty screen. Wanting to live long is not a problem, but this thinking of forcefully increasing the lifespan arises from certain arrogance against life, which I don't like. This happened in the year 2050. A few scientists made an appointment with God. They met him and said, "Hey, old man, you have done pretty well with the creation, but everything that you have done, we can also do now. So we think it is time you retire." Then God said, "Oh, is that so? What is it that you can do?" They said, "Just watch this." They pulled out their test tubes and conical flask and all that. They took some soil and mixed various things with it and produced a live baby. And it started crying. "See, here it is. We can make life. So where is the need for you? You can retire." To this, God said, "That is great, but first get your own soil." If you want to work on the extension of life of your body, you need to do it with the right kind of sadhana, not with outside fixing. If you do the right kind of sadhana, when the body is stretched, along with it, the prarabdha karma will also open up. It will open up other dimensions of karmic substance, and there will be substance to keep this going. If there is no substance for the being, but there is substance for the body, you will become like a ghost. At least a ghost does not occupy space and does not eat your food. You will eat food and occupy space, but you will live like a ghost. If you do sadhana and live for 400 years, then you would be of tremendous value to the world. You will be of value not just because you will live long and have immense wisdom, but because who you are and what you have become. Because of the sheer maturity of life, it will organize itself in that way in your body. Your being or what you are will float around effortlessly like a bubble. In terms of sadhana, hatha yoga is very important because you need a good physical base. Moreover, if you are in such a state within yourself that when you close your eyes, you have no sense of time, the time is deceived by you. If the cellular aliveness is kept up in a youthful manner, the body can last because it can rejuvenate itself. Most importantly, if you are burning your karma strong enough, new levels will naturally open up. Without sadhana, you have no way of digging deeper into the larger karmic substance or what you call sanchita karma. Such a person will not be able to sustain life extension. Also, your existence of life will not be enhanced in any way just because you live for a greater number of years. A reasonable number of years, yes, but simply extending years is not going to make your life any greater in your experience. If you just say, I am 150 years old, others may be impressed, but in your experience, what is the difference? You must decide if for you life is an account book or a phenomenon. If it is an account book, numbers matter. If it is a phenomenon of experience, then numbers do not matter.